Good morning. My name is Paul Scalzo, and I've been fortunate enough to hire Across the Grain to do a job for me. And I told him about doing a podcast for him. So I'm here today with my crew doing a podcast with Josh Hess and Walter Zeibel. And we're really excited to have them today. These guys are very professional, did such a great job for me. I thought I would have them on our show here and just talk for a few minutes. So I'll start with you, Josh.
Okay.
How long have you been in the construction business and doing what you do?
I've been in business since at least 2012, full-time, I guess. Started as an apprentice doing framing work. And then from there, after 1 year, continued to do framing for a sub for another contractor, doing $1 million homes and stuff like that for 4 years. And then in 2016, decided to go off on my own. And then it started off, you have to kind of build your business. So it started off like you have to take yourself away from doing those big homes, start small again, and then continue to build it up.
Great. So you know the business like all the way from pounding the nails all the way up.
Yeah.
And that's important, I think. And Walter, how long have you been in business, and when did you start in the business, I should ask?
Yeah, Across the Grain wasn't the first step, but when I was, just a little boy, I was dabbling in construction and learning, teaching myself, talking to the right people, and then just as you continue to do that, you start to pick up everything you need to know. By the time I met Josh, we were both dabbling in it, but to get into the area, I had to find a different job. It was a machine shop. I started out there, got tired of it. At least I had my foot in the door doing it, but me and Josh went off and we started doing side jobs. We were working, 60, 70-hour weeks, taking care of our full-time jobs and then moving into side jobs, doing remodels, roofing jobs. And then eventually it just happened where why not? Let's go do it on our own. We're professional enough. We know the ins and outs of it, so.
So how long have you guys, I'll talk to you, Walter, how long have you guys been together then doing construction?
Yeah, from probably 2012, 2013. Again, just as of recent, starting the LLCs, I had Thermoform, Josh carried Across the Grain, and as of recent, we are now transitioning and emerge for eliminating Thermoform and pursuing Across the Grain as the full-time LLC.
That's exciting. And
Yeah.
I just read a book where, in today's industries, they said partnerships actually work very well because each has a different expertise. So I just want to hit on that for a second. So Josh, in Across the Grain, kind of what do you handle? What part do you handle?
Well, right now, with switching over, we each have our own different jobs, so we are customers at least. So we're kind of handling everything. But I would say just with framing, I'm not going to say I'm better at it, but that's I'm more comfortable with, and I've learned to perfect it over time. As far as Walter goes, he likes more of the professional, skilled finish work. So he takes very good look at detail and making sure everything is very good with that. Whereas I'm like, let's get in. I know what we're doing with framing. You don't have to worry so much about the little details, but you want to learn how to eliminate the steps where you have to go back and fix any mistakes. So you'll try to perfect that in that way. So
That sounds like a good marriage then.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
As to how you operate. So who if I was a client and I was coming to you all, who would I talk to? Would you be the point person, Josh, or would it be both of you, or how would it work?
I don't know. That's something that we're trying to figure out right now with moving into this one business. So whether it be somebody takes care of additions or remodels, or if somebody else takes care of the new construction. We have a lot of roofing jobs in the summer because we hire a bunch of high school kids. So that's something else that we have to kind of figure out, I guess, too.
And do you guys have a vision for the company as to where you want to be, let's say, 5 years from now?
Oh, boy, you can go.
Yeah, mainly new construction, being able to be,
Okay.
whether it be land development, picking homes from customers and just giving them their dream, making sure that every detail is taken care of, and then just taking all the headaches out of it, making sure that's just mainstream, everything flows well, customers, not only customers, but employees are taken care of. And then we're just kind of in the background, kind of take a different role, whether it be integrating new options, whether, you know, we're doing insulation or, you know, whatever. Try to take it all in.
Well, I can tell from experience from using both Walter and Josh that they definitely know the business inside out and across the grain. So let me get to some of the jobs, what you guys think is exciting. So if I was to ask each of you, and I'll start with you, Josh, like what the most exciting job, I'm going to use the word exciting.
Yeah.
I mean exciting in a way that was really fulfilling. You completed it, you looked at your work and you said, oh my gosh, this was good stuff. What would it be? What would be the most exciting job you've done in your
Have I
7
done,
years?
or that would be awesome to do down
No,
the
let's
future?
talk about what you've done and then we'll talk about the future.
Just seeing like a custom home built from the ground up. That's very like, and then knowing that you built that, and like sometimes it's hard to say, but like sometimes, like, I mean, we're a contractor, you're a contractor, but when contractors come and like, I built this, it's like, oh, hold on here a second. Like, you kind of take pride in your work too. And it's very cool just to see. I don't care what size it is. It could be a 2,000 square foot home or 4,000, but just seeing like the uniqueness. It's not like a cookie cutter home, I would say it would be like the greatest thing, but like just seeing the framing of like like we're going to put false beams here and do intricate stuff. That's really cool to me.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff. How about you, Walter? What's the most exciting thing that you've done in the last 7 years or so, 7 or 8 years since you guys started?
Well, yeah, there's times where you get on these cottages and you put a sliding patio door in and it's not square. You got to figure it out. So now we're doing these custom homes and you start to look at the truss system and you're just like, wow. But then you get to actually use your ability to create. Now you get to rafter frame things and you get to take what engineers did wrongly and then put it together, make it happen.
Well, you know, that's a whole another podcast. We got to
Yeah.
talk about correcting the mistakes because the engineers, it's easy to draw it on paper, but I know sometimes it doesn't practically work on site and you have to make adjustments and go back and forth. That'd be another podcast. All right. I want to go, now I'm going to vision out. So I heard what you said, Josh,
Yeah.
about what's fulfilling. So now I want to know, what would be the ultimate job that you could do if somebody came to you right now and said, hey, you know, I want to build a house. It
Yeah.
could be a type of house. What would you, like, in your mind, love to build for somebody?
I always wanted to build like a lodge, like out of a full log, like out
really?
going out west. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is intriguing. Like if you go to Yellowstone National Park, they have the whole like lodge that's just like 5 stories tall and
Yeah.
super unique. And there's a lot of stuff in northern Wisconsin that's like that too, but not a lot of people do it. It's too expensive.
Well, we go down to Pigeon Forge in Tennessee, and they have a lot
Okay.
of what you're talking
Yeah.
about there. It is cool.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, you can have people, like 20 people come in and stay in different rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a expensive build.
It's a different type of build
Yeah.
too. You have to kind of, I mean, you still have a basic foundation for building that, but this is completely different where you have to perfect it almost.
Well, I would think out in your area, maybe that would happen. How about you, Walter? What would be the ultimate thing that you'd love to
I'd have to agree. You know, someday I like to wake up early in the morning and just cup of coffee and build cabinets, do finish work like that. But as the industry's moving toward steel products and the use of steel, I really enjoy it. You gotta envision it. Sometimes you can learn the trade of steel roofs even, but sometimes you're gonna get into a position where you got to understand concepts, shedding of rain, water, and all that stuff. But being able to just create something and knowing that you can sleep at night, that it's secure, it's going to hold out the weather, it's going to...
Yeah, you don't get a phone call in the middle of the night. It's leaking.
These phone calls that you get, and people just don't understand. But it's just to be able to take what's common. That's why I'd agree on the cottage, you know, at the log homes. But take something that's common and just create. You know, we can create, and it's fun. It's exciting.
You know what's fun about talking to you guys you're both young, but it's great to see the passion.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people aren't passionate about their work, but you guys are really passionate about your work, which makes it really cool. And I know that you guys work your butt off because even in the cold, and it gets cold up there.
Boy. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys are out there.
You
negative
don't know-
30 degree
you don't
weather.
know cold. You don't
Yes.
know it.
Well, Wisconsin, I know that you can.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how you work in that cold, but somehow you guys get through it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you'll work in like single digits sometimes, but it gets to a point where you have to go inside the truck for a little bit. Anything sub-zero, you're going to find some work inside for those 2 weeks or a week or whatever. It gets pretty rough.
Yeah, a cup of coffee,
Your joints
a
hurt.
dash of
And I'm only
whiskey,
28.
Get through
You're
it.
32.
Yeah.
Well, but can you work in that weather? I mean, how much can you get done?
You know,
the weather conditions.
The biggest thing too, and you got to respect the weather. You respect yourself, the employees, but products, they're lying to you. I mean, that stuff's going to either freeze or it's just not going to work properly. And you got to be realistic to the customer. A lot of times you're not going to see that necessarily in other builders. Not that they don't care. It's maybe they're not aware of it, but you gotta know that when a shingle turns to a piece of wood, you just can't put those on. So you gotta be able to step away and take inside work and things like that.
So how do you do the time frame then? If I wanted to build a home and I said you give me a time, obviously if it's from spring to fall, it works, right?
Spring to fall works.
What do you do from fall to? Is that the inside work from fall to February or March?
Yeah, usually. But right now we're framing a 4,000 square foot home, so you run into a month ago we had negative weather for about 2 weeks, so you have to kind of, I don't know, it's not my contract, but you would have to figure out like, hey, this is our time and we were going to run into issues. It's Wisconsin weather. You know that there's going to be a blizzard or sub-zero weather, or April you're going to get 4 feet of snow like 2 years ago. So it's just something you can kind of consider, I guess, in your contract.
So that's one of the reasons why you had time to come out here to Connecticut.
Yeah,
Sure.
And
Exactly.
road limits are on right now too. I think.
Oh, you have a road limit?
Yeah, we have road limits on.
Yeah, I know they
so we
have
get
them on
road
Vermont here. Too.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's today we got to talk a little bit about the passion of Josh and Walt going out on their own, and it's really exciting for them. I know they're excited, and they're visiting with me. I'm a builder here in Connecticut that's been around and older, and it was great to have them for the week to kind of just see where they're at and where they're headed. And I'm real excited for them as they bring this together. And I hope anybody watching this would give them a call because these guys are good. We've used them. They know what they're doing. And maybe just give some contact info. How would somebody contact you if this podcast goes into somebody's hands out there and they want and Josh and Walt, you probably should say what you would do too. Like we would do jobs from X, X to Y.
Yeah, right.
And this is how you get a hold of us.
Yeah. Contact info, I guess. We're starting a website right now. It'll be probably underneath like Across the Grain Construction. Or email would be builttoasstand@gmail.com. And number is, I guess, would be 715-310-3362. And I don't know, Walt, if you want to cover like what we do exactly.
Yeah, we cover new construction, remodels. A lot of the times you're going to see a cottage that's it's fitting for you, but you want to see something else. We're full contracting service, so we're going to take care of the demo, the digging, any regulations with permits, and then just the knowledge on products. We're going to be able to share with you what you should and shouldn't do, where to get it. We do love to support local small businesses during a time like this. So things like Menards, we know we're all familiar with them, but we do like to serve those in the community as well. But yeah, we'll take care of pretty much any need that you got for residential home building remodels and interior stuff, bathrooms, kitchen remodels. A lot of the houses are outdated, so we want to take care of those things too.
Great. So I'll close with this. If anybody wants to build a lodge, Josh wants to build it. So anyhow, thanks for coming, you guys, and the best of luck.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Paul.